Hello, I'm Cerberus Dark One, and do we have a bumper what's on eShop this time? The new releases, of course, all the latest on the Switch 2 Direct coming up later, and a completely random Switch 1 Direct from a few days ago. But first, let's take a look at some low-priced games. Go Fight Fantastic, the 1-to-3 player hack and slash you've just seen, and a similar low-price online multiplayer. Beast is an arena hero shooter by the same people that made the free-to-play Frag Pro shooter. 3v3 fast-paced matches where you can switch between mechs and being on foot. It kind of reminds me of Titanfall on the Xbox. While One Button Bosses is a roguelike boss rush game where you only need to press one button. The faster your ship orbits each boss, the faster you shoot. Changing direction to avoid attacks slows you down. Seems simple, but you can tell there'll be some perfectly timed strategy to it. From the creator of Daddish, Be Brave Barb, a gravity platformer with 100 levels and 5 bosses. This kind of reminds me of Mario Galaxy, where you're pulled towards the outside of each planet. Now, I can tell you that the unofficial theme this month seems to be detective games. We have Expelled from the creators of Overboard, also available together in a bundle, where you've been set up for attempted murder in a girls' school and have only one day to find the real culprit before expulsion. Moving into mid-priced games, the theme continues with Carmen's San Diego. The super thief is recruited into a world of espionage in order to track down the operatives of Vile. This character was really popular in the 90s with her own cartoon, but I'm not that familiar. Uncover a thief while on an Italian holiday in On Your Tail. Demo available for those that want to give it a try. Interview the locals and investigate crime scenes to piece together what happened in this story-driven adventure. The detective games keep coming with Jennifer Wild, a point-and-click game set in 1921 from Paris to London to Ireland. While investigating the death of your father, you team up with the ghost of Oscar Wilde. Wow. Able to interrogate both the living and the dead, solving puzzles and mysteries along the way. Now a game so good it took them 35 years to make a sequel. Beyond the Ice Palace 2. Wield the chains that once imprisoned you and reclaim your throne. It's got a... not Metroidvania. Castlevania. It's got a Castlevania style to it. Very gothic. I don't mind it. Another old classic gets a remake with Bubble Ghost. Demo available. The ghost of a renowned inventor must guide a mysterious bubble through his own enchanted castle, filled with out-of-control inventions and other dangers. This is another game that reminds me of Mario Galaxy. The worst levels in Mario Galaxy. Maybe this is where they got the idea from. Now, surprise! We have a Direct for you. 1 week before the Direct we told you about 2 months ago. Okay, I guess having a Switch 1 Direct isn't such a bad idea. There are still plenty of games to release. So they started with the other Dragon Quest remakes. I'd like to try all 3 of these at some point. There was weirdly a lot of former PlayStation games included, with Rido Remastered, Everybody's Golf, which doesn't look too bad, Patapon, a rhythm battler from the PSP, and Saga Frontier 2, which released the same day as the Direct, along with a Disney game and Rift of the Necrodancer, a more direct rhythm game, unlike the RPGs. Nintendo will also introduce virtual game cards at the end of the month. This is obviously for the Switch 2, to help you transfer your digital games over. It's not a bad idea either. being able to lend your games out for 14 days also. But as it's only to people in your family plan, it's not going to be much use for the rest of us. As is Nintendo Today, basically Nintendo's version of Twitter. You might think, what's the point? But I guess with different restrictions, blocks and bans of social media in different parts of the world, maybe it's a good idea to have your own promo app. And you know what? Mii's are coming back in a big way. Literally. Tomodachi Life gets a 2026 release, as does fan favourite Rhythm Paradise Groove. So there's still some life left in the Switch One. But you have to imagine all these games will also be available on the Switch 2 as well, including what I think will be a dual release for both systems. Metroid Prime 4. It's kinda curious they won't give us a release date for it, just sometime in 2025. But that's for the Switch 2 Direct. Before that, the top 3 chart. Newly in at 3, it's Disney Villains Cursed Cafe. Dropping only one place, last month's number 1, Hello Kitty. And with a definitive new number 1 for April, it's Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's good to see Xenoblade X finally make it over to the Switch, along with every other Wii U game. This was the first Xenoblade game I played, and until recently the only. And looking back, I'm not quite sure I understood the mechanics. But after getting Xenoblade 3 in October, and basically playing it non-stop for 5 months, I've become a huge Xenoblade fan. So this is my top pick. Also, shout out to all the Interceptors out there. The number 1 division. You know it's true. But now, what we've all been waiting for, the Switch 2 Direct. Yeah, magnets, bigger screen, 4K, HDR, 120 frames, blah blah blah. When is it out? The 5th of June. Wow, that's actually a lot closer than I thought. I was guessing September, but June, 2 months. It comes with 256 gigabytes of storage, which is a lot more than Nintendo usually gives us. But if games are going to come in 4K now, it probably won't last long. Of course, there's a new Pro controller with a few new resignable buttons. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same. We thought they were going to give us an Astrobot style tie-in game in the Switch 2 Welcome Tour, but it looks more like a manual you have to pay for. Do you remember when ARMS launched to show us how to use Joy-Cons? We need something like that, but for double mouse controls. Okay, maybe not. I guess using a Joy-Con for each hand isn't bad. The throwing and the high fives are fun. The curious C button, what was it for? Control? Camera? Cast? Maybe chat? It turns out, yes, all of them. So you can chat with your friends whilst playing, using the inbuilt mic, no more smartphone apps. You can also screen share, even when you're not playing the same game. It's probably streamed from your Switch at 10 frames a second, but it'll be great just to get an idea of what your friends are doing, point them in the right direction if they need help. And there's a camera. Oh joy, just like the Wii U. Another feature is Game Share, where only 1 in 4 needs the game, and can share it locally with Switch 1s, or online with Switch 2s. It kind of makes dual screen gaming a possibility. Maybe DS, 3DS, even Wii U could come at some point. Talking about old games, GameCube is coming to the expansion pack, with Wind Waker, Soul Calibur, and F-Zero. There's also a new wireless GameCube controller with all the extra buttons. Now get used to having 3 types of games. The Switch 2 only games? Compatible Switch 1 games? Metroid Prime 4 has both. I told you it was going to be a dual release. And Switch 2 Edition games, which are Switch 1 games with extra content, like Jamboree and Kirby, or just up-resed, like Zelda. If you already own these games, you can buy an upgrade pack. A surprise announcement, for me at least, was a new prequel Hyrule Warriors game, arriving for winter 2025. Whereas a game we all knew about, and a game title I called, was Mario Kart World. There's boats, planes, and automobiles. The stunt ramps are back, now with grinding, some sort of anti-gravity, on water instead of underwater racing, a full weather system, including off-road, roam anywhere, 24-player knockout races, a special direct on the 17th of April. This game is gonna be massive, and it's a launch game, along with all these. 16 titles so far. Not many new games, but they're all new to me. And they're still lining things up for next year, with the exclusive From Software game, The Duskbloods. A Gothic-inspired Bloodborne-style game, possibly multiplayer. Now a game everyone thought could be a Smash reveal. Turns out it's Kirby Air Riders, but at least it's still made by Sakurai. It's just a shame he waited 20 years to release it in the same year as Mario Kart. But that's about it. Apart from my all-time favourite character, Donkey Kong is finally getting a real game. And it looks like he's very slowly getting dressed. First it was a tie, now some trousers. By the end of the century, he'll have a coat and hat. There's a fully destructible environment, and he's got some pace to him as well. But no Diddy, just a little purple rock. However, the new look is growing on me. Not released until the 17th of July though. This is day one for me, as is Mario Kart. I'm gonna try and get a Switch 2 for launch, if it's not too difficult. But that's it for this extra long What's on eShop. I wasn't expecting the double direct. Nintendo has added a lot of features for gamers, even if they've raised their prices as well. I might cover the Mario Kart Direct on the 17th. Otherwise, I'll see you next month.